Okay.
Yeah. Welcome to ORA News Flash documentary edition. We are here now to speak to some people that played a role in the formation of ORAUSA from the inception to the present. With me today is Mazi Emmy Ejekam of Houston affiliate. He was there from the beginning. So he will tell us what he saw at that early stages. With me to talk to him is our current National Secretary, Mazi Austin Oforha. Mazi Oforha has been a secretary for some time, and me, I am the Emeritus National Secretary of ORAUSA. So I was there before. So having said that, I want Emmy Ejekam to say hi, and Austin will say hi, then we can continue.
Thank you very much, my brother. My name is Emmy Ejekam, Mazi Emmy Ejekam. I'm from Urali, Delta North of Imo State, which is under Olu Senatorial Zone. Thank you.
Good day, all. As the chairman of the committee already introduced me, my name is Mazi Austin Oforha, and I'm the current National Secretary of ORAUSA. With him here to interview Mazi Emmy Ejekam on the history of ORAUSA. Since he's from Ishimiri, we've decided to start from Ishimiri, from the origin. We are hoping that you would enjoy the ride with us as it takes us down memory lane to recapture all that transpired at the early stages of the formation of ORAUSA. You are welcome to this discussion. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Before I continue, I want to introduce myself again as Charles Anumodo. I think I missed my name the first time. Charles Anumodo, Deacon Charles Anumodo, former National Secretary of ORAUSA. Mazi Emmy Ejekam, you're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
We are pleased to talk to you today. We're pleased that you are around and you have agreed, you accepted to talk to us on this very, very important issue of oral history. So in brief, can you tell us what you know about how ORA started from your own perspective? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. As you know, I'm from ORA Houston, and historically, ORA Houston actually started Olu Regional Assembly. And our history actually locally started in 1982. And when we progressed in 94, 95, the local organization felt that they need to get other people from other states to form a national body. And under the leadership of Sir C.Y. Obiozo, we had to call you can call it a convention, you can call it the first gathering, but from my perspective, like you asked me, because different people have their perspectives, but that was the first national get-together. All the indigents, most of the indigents all over United States, Canada, even from Nigeria, decided to assemble in Houston at Hobby Hilton. Hobby is a local airport here. So that's probably one of the reasons why we always have our national conventions around the airport, the hotels within the airport. So we had that convention in, I have to say, I know it's 95, I may be wrong, but it it has to be 94 or 95, under the leadership of CYOB. We had that convention. A lot of people came. People from Dallas, I can name so many, Dr. Chief Onwu Mere, Chris Nwachuku from Atlanta. I mean, if I start naming names, we wouldn't be able to finish today. But anyway, that convention brought a lot of indigents all over from our low senatorial zone that we have our senatorial zone today. And the turnout was great. The resolutions taken at that convention, everybody agreed that we are going to continue it yearly. It's going to be a yearly thing. And at that convention, we nominated, or we appointed, I would say, an interim president or leader. You can call it anything, but someone to lead the organization to the next step. And that was Dr. Collins Okehie. Collins Okehie is from Amiibo. Now, under Collins Okehie, there was
from which city was Collins Okehie?
Collins is a local affiliate member in Houston.
Okay.
So under his, I would say, interim, or whatever you call it, someone that will take the organization next to the next level. Something happened, and I guess the progress we anticipated, what we expected to happen, did not happen. And Dallas being next to Houston, Dallas is close to Houston. We've done a lot of things together, and Dallas is the organization. They want to put this where it's supposed to be. So because of the dormancy, I would say it's a relapse or something, there was a pause. And Dallas felt that it's necessary to revive the organization. And from there, they had a series of, I guess, meetings or resolutions. And I think there's some guy from California. You see, I want to give you what I know that happened in Houston, because the controversy about the history of ORAUSA is always the transition between Houston to Dallas. And when we eventually went to Atlanta in 2001, that's when we went to Atlanta, Georgia. And that was what a lot of people is getting confused. Which one is the first convention? Is that the one in Houston? Or is that what happened in Dallas before Atlanta? There are so many stories, and you are going to get those stories from different people, from different perspectives. Like before you started this, you asked me to give my own perspective. And that's exactly where I am. I can only tell you what happened in Houston. The convention in Houston was huge. A lot of people came, and they made a decision to have here to take us to the next level. Along the line, it did not happen. In Dallas, something happened that kept the organization temporary. We have a constituted organization, which we have today. And that happened in Atlanta in 2001.
Sorry, Emmy Ejekam, I'm sorry to cut you short. Would you be a little more specific about what happened in Dallas? You speak about Dallas in general terms, so we need to get what happened there, as much as you can remember.
Yes, as far as I know, I don't live in Dallas. I don't have the details of what happened there, because.
But you attended the meeting?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay.
No, I didn't any of the meetings. That's why I wanted a perspective within Houston. There are so many series of things, chains of events happened in Dallas. And each individual has a perspective of what happened, which is where we get a little confused. We talk about
now,
it.
Would you know if in Dallas they were able to set up a new executive, whether interim, or
Yes.
whatever to
Interim.
run the organization before Atlanta?
Correct. There was Anyi Roha from California, Los Angeles.
I knew how you called him.
Yes, Anyi Roha. I think it's Anyi Roha. I've forgotten the first name.
Okay. Okay.
But he was the interim till we get to Atlanta. And that decision, if I'm not mistaken, was made in Dallas.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember you said the first interim chairman, Dr. Okeye, was absent in Dallas, and his vice then, what's his name again? His vice took over. So was it that vice that organized another interim election of Anyo?
Yes, something happened. Like I said again, I don't have the details, but Anyi Roha interim leadership. I
Yes,
know
that was Duruji.
I will tell you, it didn't happen in Houston. It happened after a series of events in Dallas.
Okay, so did you go to Atlanta for the first?
Correct.
Yeah.
I was the local president that led this affiliate to Atlanta.
Okay, so what happened in Atlanta? How did the first election happen?
The election was, we had an election, very successful election. Nze Chibu was running against Dr. Amos Ozumba, who is another local affiliate member in Houston. Chibu won the presidency, and he was there's this guy from Louisiana that assisted, that was the vice president. I've forgotten his name. Becky Windsor was the secretary.
I thought it's more Onyedebele from Chicago, according to your writing. That was his vice, Onyedebele. Remember him?
Yes. Is it Chicago? I thought it was.
No, he was from Chicago then.
Okay, well, yeah. But it's Onyedebele. Yeah, you're correct.
Okay.
Yeah. And Becky Windsor, the secretary. Dr. Wow, this is my in-law. I'm forgetting was the publicity secretary. That's his PR.
No, publicity secretary then was Dr. Duruji. Okay, Francis Ibezim was parliamentarian.
Correct.
Michael Oji was the PRO.
Publicity.
Michael Oji, right?
Correct.
He's an attorney.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. And Dr. Obinna was. Okay, Dr. Obinna moderated the event, the constitutional review.
Okay. That was later on. That was in Dallas. We did the review. That was after 2001.
After 2001. Okay, did you come to the...
Oh, sorry. Was there a convention in Dallas immediately following Atlanta?
No, it was a constitutional review meeting that was scheduled.
Yeah. And the next convention was in Chicago in 2002.
Okay.
Did you go to that convention?
Yes, I did.
Okay. That was when I was about 6 months old in the US. I came there and they blocked the gate and was asking for tickets, gate fee. I didn't even know what they were talking about. I'm still trying to situate myself.
Yes.
And my friend, late Philip Ejekam, who brought me there, we hung around for a few minutes and we left again.
Chicago Convention was another night. It was like uplift from Houston. They Jeff Wuju and his crew, they really entertained us.
Yeah.
The only, East Coast, you don't party like till 4 in the morning, which we are used to Houston.
Yeah.
That was the issues we had those days.
Okay, Justin, do you have any questions for him?
Yeah, not really question. I just want him to continue going to as long as he remembers, unless you have a timeline where he should stop. But I'm actually getting more informed as Emmy Ejekam recapitulates what happened then.
Okay. Emmy Ejekam, did you, from that first convention, how many other conventions did you attend and how many can you remember? Were you there throughout the first term of the first president?
Actually, if I have missed any convention, I can tell you throughout the history of this organization, I probably missed conventions.
How many?
3.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
In Atlanta, go ahead.
Why Atlanta is so significant of you? That was when politicians, Achiku Denwa was there, Rochas was there, my home man from Akokwa. I mean, it was a political city. So most of those people, they came, to talk and whether you accept it or not.
Emmy Ejekam, as you go back and forth, recline on it, it's like we are losing connection with your
Really?
phone.
Yeah, when you're not talking, Justin, you can mute your phone, mute your Zoom. Okay, continue, Emmy Ejekam.
So it was a season for political campaign, and these people came, and because of their presence and because of what they did, it propelled the organization a little bit. It gave it a solid foundation. That's why, you probably realize that Udenwa is one of our patrons. Most of those people that we made patrons that come from Nigeria, they've been there. Green Iheka, Professor Amuka. Those are the people that they have consistently, after 2001, they've consistently attended our conventions.
Okay. And after 2002, do you remember where it was held in 2003?
Should I say Boston? Maybe Boston.
No, Boston was in 2008 because I was there.
Okay.
But let me pull it up.
After, where did we go next? Dallas is of recent. Where did we go next? We've gone to, to be honest with you, I don't want to make a mistake. We need to search, and I'm sure we can find those information, through our, the vice president should have the list of.
It's on our website. It's on our website. I'm pulling it up now.
Okay.
Does the Emmy Ejekam, would you want to remember, can you remember the kind of attendance in terms of numerical strength of attendees at the early stages of ORAUSA, the first, second conventions that you remember? What was the attendance like, and the venue, the kind of venue you had? Was it a normal hotel setting or just a conference or that kind of thing?
Yes. In Houston, as I said, we had that convention at Hobby Hilton. Hobby is local airport. You know, Bush Airport is international here, but Hobby is the local airport south of Houston. So we had it at a hotel at that place, and the attendance, like I said, the thing is, the magnitude and the number came because it was like the first time all the people in all surrounding areas realized that, hey, you know, like you went to high school with one of your friends and you probably heard that he lives in Chicago and or this one lives in LA. And you can imagine the anticipation for an opportunity to all come together and, you know, meet again after so long. So those two conventions, the first two conventions were highly attended. For Houston, compared the
When
crowd,
you say the first two conventions, are you referring to Houston and Dallas or Houston and
well,
Atlanta?
Houston and Atlanta, I'm talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, because Dallas is claiming that they had a convention, but historically, it's a matter of argument.
Anyway, you said you were not there, but that's fine.
Exactly.
There's not what I wanted to drive at. If you can put a number as the possible number of attendance you had, I want to compare what we are seeing now to see what progress ORAUSA has made in organizing conventions. If you were like to give us an idea in your honesty, of course, you can't be exact to say, okay, I think we probably were up to 10 or we're up to 200 or what, that kind of thing. And then what kind of hotel? Was it a motel or one of those? Is it Marriott? The kind of venues we're using there. That's what I wanted to get at, so that we know what progress ORA has made over the years in these conventions.
When we had the convention in Houston, the hall we rented had a capacity of 500.
500?
Yes. That's the hall we rented. And that hall was filled up and we had to use the lobby.
Wow.
In Houston?
Awesome.
In Houston?
In Houston.
Okay.
Then
awesome.
In Atlanta, I can't even tell you. I won't be, if you ask me on a scale of 1 to 10, I would say Houston probably came like 3. And then Atlanta came like 6. And what you see now is a progression, which I think Houston, what happened in Houston last year is yet to be, how do I say?
Equal or surpassed.
Exactly. It has been a progression in terms of attendance. And of course, you know, then we weren't doing letters to Nigeria. We started doing this not too long ago, you know, to people as we do now.
Okay, the sending out invitation letters to people in Nigeria, you mean?
At the early stage was I remember Chris Nwachukwu, the attorney Chris Nwachukwu of Atlanta. I know he was the one that took our invitation and he paid for to advertise convention in Atlanta before it happened. I vividly.
Okay. Okay, Emmy Ejekam, now I see the 2003 convention was in Los Angeles.
Okay.
Were you
Correct.
there?
Yes, I was.
Okay. Do you remember any significant events that happened there?
Los Angeles was big too. Dr. Solo. Yes, Dr. Solo is well known in Los Angeles, and who was their president. But just like Los Angeles, they came out and they gave us a very good entertainment. We did tours. We toured some places in Los Angeles, and it was big. It was big.
Okay. Okay. In 2004, it came back to Houston.
Yes.
Okay. That was probably, okay, the Akaraka was still president then.
Correct.
Okay. Do you recall how this 2004 convention was different from the first one you had? For that first one you had, it was not attended by affiliates, but by individuals, right?
The one in Houston, we didn't have affiliates then.
In 2001, in 1995,
no.
right?
In 1995, sorry.
Yeah, there was no affiliates.
No affiliates.
Okay.
Affiliates.
Yeah. So affiliates started in Atlanta.
Yeah. From my point of my knowledge.
Okay. So in 2004.
When you said Atlanta, that was 2001, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Correct.
Then in 2004, it came back to Houston with affiliates now.
Exactly.
Okay. And it must be different from the first one.
When we use the word conventions, if you think what happened in Houston in 2001, rather the first meeting, 1995, if you think that was a convention, then it stands to reason that the executive that came up then, whether interim or substantive, was then the first executive of ORAUSA. That's by extension, if you say that was a convention. However, if you, sorry, sir, if we look at it as just a meeting together of people, inviting people to rub minds on the need to form a regional assembly for the entire United States, then that wouldn't be regarded as a convention as we know it. And then whatever executive you put in place, like I keep using the word, either interim or substantive, then that would also not be regarded as the first executive, because we need to put this into perspective to avoid arguments as to who was the first president, where was the first convention.
Correct.
Let me put that in the right perspective. You remember when he was telling us about what happened in Atlanta? He said that was where our current constitution was adopted and the executive elected under that constitution. So when we talk about executive conventions, we're making reference to what happened after this constitution was adopted. So any other thing that happened before the constitution, we know them as historical facts, but we count conventions and executives from when this current constitution took effect. So if we do it that way, we will see everything from the right perspective.
Yeah, I'm with you, because why I will toe your line. Remember what I said. The issue we're having about with our history has always been that what happened in Houston should be called convention. What happened in Dallas should be called convention. And what translates between these two cities, that's the only, every other information is they have all been acceptable to, but the issue, the argument is, did what happened in Houston constitute convention? Whatever happened in that has to revive and reinstate and rebrand ORAUSA before we officially went to Atlanta. Can that be also can that be termed a convention? I don't know if I'm making sense.
Yeah. That's why I said we recognize them.
Yeah, we recognize it's all about semantics. As a matter of fact, these were the people that did the groundwork. Without these gatherings, there probably would not have been ORAUSA. Whether we see them as conventions or not is a difference. Even though in my own view, they qualify as convention. What happened in Houston in 95 and what happened in Dallas thereafter. Yes, agreed. Atlanta was when the convention was formally, or rather the constitution was formally adopted and the executive elected. But obviously there would have been meetings to draft the constitution drafting committees and all those things. Of course, these things would have in themselves constituted convention. But I think at the end of the day, we would look at it more critically to know when to start counting our convention. Like today, what we had in Houston was described as 22nd convention, right? And what's going to happen in Baltimore is being described as 23rd convention. So if you go by that sequence, it would appear then that the conventions actually started 2021 or 2001.
Exactly.
Yes,
another timeline or reference point is when the organization was incorporated. That's another time,
and that's what,
reference point.
That's why we had Atlanta before. I think it's been changed now. That's why you had Atlanta as the domicile address for the.
Okay, it was incorporated then. So every other thing that was done before then were just preparatory.
Exactly.
And we
was ORAUSA incorporated before or after the Atlanta Convention?
I think it was after Atlanta.
Okay. So that means the first convention after the incorporation was in Chicago.
Well, you
could have been Atlanta Convention for us to be.
We cannot change those things. The things have proceeded. The train has left the station. So we cannot go back and change history. All we recognize is that this is where the first convention took place is in Atlanta. We don't forget that Houston and Dallas played roles and organized preparatory meetings. So let's leave it at that and proceed. If we have any more questions for Mazi Emmy Ejekam, but if not, we can wrap it up. Mazi Austin Ofoha.
Yeah, it's been quite insightful listening to Mazi Emmy Ejekam go down memory lane to recap the events that happened before now, especially at the inception. No doubt, ORA Houston played a very significant role. No wonder it goes by the name Ishimiri. It looks like ORAUSA was their vision. It was their own child. They gave birth to it, and then Dallas nurtured it, and then it stood on its feet from Atlanta. Quite informative. I want to commend Mazi Emmy Ejekam for remembering this and finding time to share it with us. Thank you, Mr. Emmy Ejekam, for Mazi Emmy Ejekam for this. And I do sincerely hope that all ORAUSA members and the affiliates in particular would appreciate what you have done, and you have only enriched the history of ORAUSA. Thank you, Mazi.
Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Mazi Ejekam, I also join to thank you for accepting to talk to us, even though it was such a short notice. But it shows that you are committed to preserving the history of ORAUSA. And thank you for even all the information you gave us, for remembering them, and continue to serve ORAUSA. We appreciate what you did in our Houston convention last year. And
in fact, he was the local organizing committee chairman.
The local organizing committee, and
wow,
very
that's awesome.
Very successful convention.
From the 90s till date.
Yeah, you are indefatigable.
Awesome.
You
are one of the pillars of ORAUSA, no doubt.
You, my brother.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. And if we need you again, we can call on you, and we hope you will answer us.
Anytime.
And as a matter of fact, if at any point you remember any very important information you think Oral News Flash should be aware of, do not hesitate to reach out to us, okay?
Anytime for us.
Okay, okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.